This is Sunshine Reports. I am Sahid Arabisala. Ondo State, the Sunshine State, is 49 today. Ondo State, carved out of the whole region, was created on 3rd of February 1996 by the military administration of General Murtala Mohammed. Since its creation, 19 people have served as governor. 12 military governors and 7 civilian governors, including Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, were sworn in on the 27th of December 2023. Meanwhile, the Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, says the state is making steady progress to the destination of all-round development and prosperity. Governor Aiyedatiwa stated this in his message to the people of Ondo State to mark the 49th creation anniversary of the state. In his message on the anniversary, Governor Aiyedatiwa commended the founding fathers of the state for their courage, foresight, and invaluable contributions towards making Ondo State what it is today in terms of sustainable development and inclusive growth, with the potential to be greater. While promising to continue to build on the worthy legacies of the founding fathers and former governors, Governor Aiyedatiwa reiterated the commitment of his administration to maximizing the potential of the state for the benefit of the generality of the people. Congratulating the people of the state on the anniversary, the governor also called on them to continue to provide support for his administration as he continues to navigate the ship of the state towards a safe harbor. The governor added that as the state heads towards its 50th creation anniversary next year, a committee will be constituted to draw up the modalities for the golden celebration of the Sunshine State. Nearly 5 decades of growth, challenges, and achievement, Ondo State is marking its 49th years of creation. Carved out of the former Western state in 1976, Ondo State has remained a beacon of development in the southwest, with rich natural resources, especially in agriculture, with cocoa, oil palm, and cassava as major exports. The discovery of more resources like bitumen reserves further positions the state as a potential economic powerhouse. Speaking on major political milestones that have shaped the state's democracy, one of the founding fathers of the state, Femi Aluko, said the continued free education and other government interventions as introduced by then Governor, late Adekunle Ajashi, is yielding positive results. Crisis is gradually brewing in the Igboba community over disputed plots of land in the Aleo axis of the town following demolition of ongoing buildings in the area. Affected individuals have issued a safe house plea to the government for an intervention. There's more in this report. United in pain, these individuals are left to count their losses following the Thursday, January 30th demolition exercise at Muferuri, Aleo Igboba in Akure North local government that left several ongoing building constructions rendered to rubbles.
Nobody tell me that they have maybe they are dragging anything on the land. So I bought the land direct from the family. So, and I get like over 3,000 blocks here. So they wasted everything. I'm confused because I've spent a lot of money here, so millions of naira.
I called the Mr. Banjo that said this place for me. Say, this is what is happening. He said I should come. Say, I should come and meet him. Say, these people are not supposed to be coming here because they are collecting judgment from the court or something like that. I went to the man, I collect the judgment. Then when I see the judgment, the two judgments and the court, what call it? There's one called fundamental rights. When I collect it, I take it to my lawyer. Then the lawyer say, with this one, I can go and do my work. Then immediately the second day that I said my people to come and I just said this morning, they are working, we are working. These people just come, drive their caterpillar car. We are in That's window levels.
The affected builders alleged that their properties were destroyed by individuals sponsored by the Elemo family and aided by police officers from Zone 17.
It was sudden that the day before yesterday they came with caterpillar and with police from IG office and AIG office and with some group of thugs that this other set of people, they claim that they warned from the court, and I wanted to tell them to show me the warrant that they gave them to come and demolish things and the court order, but they couldn't provide it. But suddenly this Sheung and Lope and his troop, they just ran to me and collect my set and gave me knock on in my eyes directly.
The disputed landed area within the Iguba community has resulted in court cases between one Mujisade and Elemo family, with one party laying claims that a case is pending at the Supreme Court over the land.
Appeal, on give judgment. On give family land remain family land. Ipe tó bá jẹ́ pé kí kan lọ pín. Ẹni tó bá lè family àwọn tó bá yẹ kó ní beneficiary ńbẹ̀ wọ́n ní. Ìyá mi jẹ́ ìkan lára àwọn tí ó nílẹ̀ Olúwamáyédè. Ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ jẹ́ ìkan lára wọn. But màmá mi ti late. Kì í ṣe lẹ́mọ ló ní bíbá yìí pé Olúwamáyédè ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ supreme. Ó ti wà supreme. Instead tó yẹ kó àwọn náà fúnra wọn kan reply, kan answer. Wọ́n answer ju pé every day no kó ọlọ́pàá wá síbí báyìí.
The affected individuals staged a demonstration round the community, including to the house of one of the persons alleged to be spearheading the demolition.
Wọn kì í ṣàwọn lónìí ilẹ̀. Ìran kẹta ṣe wá ẹjọ́ sà. Mo ní mọ́tò ọmọ mi mọ́. Mo kú. Dọ́kúmẹ̀ntì wà lọ́wọ́ ọmọ mi. Ọmọ mi obìnrin ìran kẹrin wá gbé mọ́tò yóò gbé tàṣẹ ọmọ mi ọkùnrin ò ní gbèrè.
The people, including the monarch of Iguba, Oba Adeniyi Adilewa, issued a Save Our Soul message seeking government intervention over the matter. Reacting to the outcry, the head of the Elemo family, Peter Akomolafe, alleged to be carrying out the demolition, said the actions were in line with an appeal court judgment.
Maybe you have had that Supreme Court issue from them, which is all fast from their lawyer, because it is true that the lawyer give notice of appeal to Supreme Court and then also compile records. So after compiling the records, that's just the beginning. He's supposed to now write the reason for the appeal and send it to the opponent. He didn't do that. He didn't do anything since he just did that compilation and sent to Abuja since 2021-22.
The federal government of Nigeria, through the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, recently lamented the housing deficit in the country, saying it is running into over 20 million. And the government says it would require providing about 500,000 housing units annually over the next decade to bridge this gap. But while the government is strategizing for this, some Nigerians with big dreams are sweating it out to provide a roof above their head. But this dream, like here in Aleo Iguba in Ondo State, is getting cut off and would require an urgent intervention to save the day. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc. Resurgence of fatal farmers-herders clashes in Ondo State has become a disturbing issue for residents, with 5 men murdered in a single day, allegedly by suspected headsmen. The fate of farmers and government's effort to curb this menace remain major concerns for the people. Omoro Lambuji sought the opinions of farmers and security experts on measures to tackle the crisis.
One of Nigeria's most persistent security challenges is the conflict between farmers and herders, which has led to the loss of lives and the destruction of farm produce on a large scale. Ondo State, an agrarian hub, has not been spared as farmers continue to fall victims on their farmlands. In response, the Ondo State government established a Amotekun Corps to work alongside other security agencies in tackling the menace. For a while, residents had a sense of security. However, the killings have resurfaced in recent times. In just 1 week in August 2024, two farmers, Joshua Gbadamosi from Ifira Akoko and Sunday Ayeni from Ubaka Akoko, were gruesomely murdered by suspected herdsmen. While security agencies and the Ondo state government were still investigating the incidents, another strategy struck as 5 able-bodied farmers were allegedly killed on their farmlands by herders. These alarming incidents, according to representatives of farmers in Ondo State, have instilled fear among the people. The chairman of the Ondo State Agricultural Commodity Association, Abiodun Adejo, confirmed that farmers are now abandoning their farms as herders, accompanied by hundreds of cows, invade their lands and kill at will.
Many of the farmers who have farms, real farms, that is cocoa, cassava and cocoa, they have abandoned the place because of this fear of these herder killers that is terrorizing that area daily. So I hope with this happening now, the government should please try as much as possible to make sure that they do something very pragmatic in a way to make sure that farmers are not being driven away from their farms, because we had food shortage last year. If anybody that is on those things, we know that there was a time we were having problem, that is, food was scarce. In fact, somebody came and said the cost of food item in Ondo State is higher than any other neighboring state. And why? Because many of our farmers ran away from the farm because of the fear of being killed or being maimed by these people. And I'm sure Ondo State, the governor now is aware of the whole thing, and I'm sure he's on top of the matter. I think he will do something very, very urgently to bring confidence to the farmers to move to the farm.
While commending the state government's efforts in tackling criminal elements, Mr. Adejo urged security agencies to adopt strategic measures to better protect farmers. Security consultant Yemi Adeyemi lamented the resurgence of these violent attacks, suggested the establishment of police divisional headquarters in all flashpoint zones across the state to strengthen security.
The civilians know those people, but they are afraid of giving security agent information. So we need those local hunters in that area. Local hunters will work with all the security agency. The local hunter, they are the one on the ground in that area. The commissioner of police is not there. There is no divisional headquarters in that area. So those vigilantes, it's what the security will liaise with, work in harmony, work hand to hand to give information to the security agency. So if security agents have information to work on, that is where they can solve this problem. The civilian, the security hunter, and the indigenous have a lot to do. Because they know these people, they are becoming there, they know them, but they are afraid to give information out. And information is power.
Meanwhile, security agencies, including the state-owned Amotekun Corps, have reassured residents of their safety, urging citizens to provide timely information to assist in securing the state. Omoriola Humbiji, Osrc News.
Adequate funds and funding for the third tier of government in Nigeria has become an issue of concern for some citizens following the Supreme Court judgment which granted financial autonomy to the local government. Now, with a mandate for direct payment of allocation from the Federation account into the local government accounts of each of the 774 council areas, this next report examines the future of the Joint Allocation Account Committee and how local government can navigate financially.
Local governments have long struggled with funding and autonomy, and recent developments which eventually granted financial autonomy to the third tier of government have brought the debate into sharp focus. A key issue that has come to the forefront is whether there is still a place for the Joint Allocation Account Committee, following a land-backed Supreme Court ruling that challenges the way funds are distributed to local government.
This is Section 162 of the Nigerian Constitution.
created or gives legal backing to what is called federation account. And we have 3 federating units in Nigeria. We have the federal government, we have the local government, the state government and the local government. And that section 162 or section 1 to 10 made provisions for how the money accruing to the federal account should be shared among those 3 tiers of government. But close to the end of that provision, it says that the money accruing to the local government of a state will be paid to that joint account you spoke about. But that was aside before the federal government of Nigeria under President Tinubu took the matter to the Supreme Court of Nigeria for adjudication. Supreme Court has rightly decided that the money accruing to...
While this ruling is seen as a victory for local governments, experts believe it also comes with new challenges, particularly when it comes to generating enough revenue to meet the needs of the people.
The local government is coming full autonomy. And of course, I know there will always be a relationship between the state and the local government, just as we have it, between the state and the federal government. So all the 3 arms of government, they have to come together and see the way, a common ground to be able to share responsibility. All this kind of, common autonomy, JAC and all that, there was no JAC for ab initio, but JAC was introduced for a purpose. So for you to eliminate JAC, then you must know that those problems that that were recurring at that time were solved. And all this thing is not about ego. It's about how do we make this thing work, and it will now be a kind of benefit, a mutual benefit to everybody.
Apart from expanding revenue base through productivity-driven initiatives, the survival of the local government may well require a change in the sharing formula for allocations.
Even under the previous conditions, there's what we call counterpart funding. There are projects in states that both the World Bank, the federal government, and the state government are jointly funding. Now, if there are issues of development at the grassroots that federal government want to intervene, that state government want to intervene to help local government, then we talk about this of counterpart funding. The mistake that the federal government made before taking the matter to court, to Supreme Court, was that the federal government did not prepare the grant.
Nigerians are hopeful that local governments will now have more control over their finances, while others remain concerned about the potential for mismanagement and lack of accountability.
Will not be in existence. We cannot say that, because even with the autonomy of the states, they are still attending FAC to distribute money. Even the Constitution provides that the state will equally give money to the local governments. If all this will happen, then there must be a body through which they will meet. And the Constitution calls it a board. Whether a board or commission or whatever they call it, or council, there must be a board.
The treasurer of each of the local government, they are their own accountant general. They will be the one to go and represent each of the local government at the JAC level. When they do that, they will receive their money directly.
Recently, the National Union of Local Government Employees, NOGE, a body of workers in all the 774 local councils in Nigeria, expressed disappointment over the 6 months delay in getting accounts opened for local government with the Central Bank of Nigeria, a situation resulting in the withholding of funds meant to be disbursed and used for the effective administration of local government across the country. The Supreme Court's decision may change the way local governments operate. For now, the challenge lies in ensuring that autonomy leads to better service delivery. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Now to the education arena, where the chairman Ondo State Universal Basic Education, SUBEB, Victor Labinton, has cleared here on the recruitment of primary school teachers going on in the state. According to him, the already screened and recruited candidates will receive their employment letters on or before the end of February 2025.
I think what happened is very clear. All I can tell you and what I can assure you and assure the good people of Ondo State and those who are applying is that all those who applied and have been screened and have been taken. They have been taken. Oh. Don't make a mistake about it. We have taken those who want to take. They will get their letter before the end of this month. Mark my word for it. They will get their letter before the end of this month.
Thank
That
you.
I can tell you authoritatively.
Now let's bring you the comment from one of the founding fathers of Ondo State as the state celebrates the 49th year anniversary since its creation. That's Chief Femi Aluko, who spoke on the major political milestone that have shaped the state's democracy, speaking also on the intervention, free education intervention, and other government intervention. Late Adekunle Ajashi, which he says continue to yield positive results.
We have not sidetracked what the leaders have laid down for us. Like the late Ajashi has said, they put down the issue of free education, free medical services, agriculture, and all those things. These are things that we have been following, and it's good for us. For example, now, the education of the state is growing. By the time we started in 1976, or by the time even Ajashi started, the education here was just about 50%. But today, we can record almost 80% to 90%. Most of the schools. If we look at the population of our secondary schools back then and see what is happening now, you encourage that you'll be impressed that Ondo State is growing educationally, and in agriculture we are not bad as far as the issue is concerned.
Chief Femi Aluko, one of the founding fathers of Ondo State and former commissioner in the state. Nigeria has experienced a surge in tanker explosions in recent times, resulting in significant loss of lives and property. The recent incidents in January 2025 have reignited concerns over fuel transportation safety and the state of road infrastructure in the country. In this report, Blessing Obe examines the latest occurrences and ongoing efforts to prevent further tragedies.
Over the past decades, Nigeria has witnessed a series of fuel tanker explosions, resulting in loss of lives and property.
Well, that's it. The course will be established later. Where a long vehicle carrying fuel at the back, God's willing, 9,000 gallons.
On October 15, 2024, a fuel tanker explosion which occurred in Majia village, Taura local government area of Jigawa state, claimed the lives of over 200 people and left many others injured. Just 3 months later, on January 18, 2025, another tragedy struck in Diko Maje Road, Suleja local government area of Niger State, when a tanker carrying about 60,000 liters of petrol overturned. The spillage ignited an explosion, killing more than 80 people. Less than 10 days later, on January 25, 2025, another fuel-laden tanker exploded in Enugu-Onitsha Federal Highway in Enugu State, allegedly due to brake failure. The explosion led to the deaths of at least 15 individuals. This development is now a grave concern for many Nigerians. Respondents have, however, linked the explosions to prevailing economic hardship.
You know that anything you can call it petrol is very dangerous to human body or to human or to the nation at large, because the fuel is something that is highly inflammable. They should make sure that they satisfy the citizens in the country so that they will not be eager for for having something, for having their daily meal. So by looking for daily meal, they can misbehave. They can do things that is not right.
Analysts also attributed the frequent explosions to a combination of poor road conditions and lack of enforcement safety standards.
The safety and cultural maintenance culture of Nigerians most times is very, very bad and deplorable. People no longer have that safety consciousness. It's not only about petrol tankers alone. Most of the things that people do, even in industries nowadays, people have taken for granted the safety consciousness and what it has to do most times with how workers should be safe. However, we have infrastructural deficit in this country, and our road networks are so bad. And because of that, the same road network that is meant for trailers and heavy-duty trucks to ply on is the same that vehicles too do. So most times there are potholes, there are bumps, there are a lot of things on the road, and the roads are not properly maintained. This is why most times these tankers fall off the roads because, apart from the fact there are highly inflammable products in them, they are heavy-duty trucks.
Government officials attributed the tanker accident to prevalence of poorly maintained tankers and drivers' recklessness.
If the driver is not engaged in overspeeding, if the driver is careful enough in handling the vehicle, there will be nothing like accident that will make the tanker to turn over. And so the bulk of the problem